This is a 1994 AT&T 821 corded desk phone. And this, believe it or not, is my first working desk corded phone. My very first phone was a desk corded phone. The AT&T 706, but it doesn't work. The 821 also has more speed dial buttons. And Q and Z, believe it or not. But other than that, functionally it's the same. The tone is different, it's higher pitched than on the 706. Speakerphone button's not the greatest on this line for some reason. This did have 7-digit numbers programmed, but I took them all out. Obviously we don't know what area code, but we still don't want to show them on video. So now let's program a number here. So that is going to be, oh, you have to turn it on. Program. Let's turn this down. And now it's stored. There's a delay when you store it, which is weird. And now I can dial it.
You have 60 old.
Now okay, I'm not sure if this actually lets you store the numbers. Let's try that next. Nope. Okay, so this does not have number speed dials. I want to redo my one-touch dials to match with my free PBX system, but I would have to get a new piece for the 9582 and just forego that label entirely. So now let's put the echo test. Let's put something in here, like guest services. Put the operator there.
If you need help, then dial the operator.
So this actually dials more like the newer phones do. Oh yeah, because this is from 94, this is with their modern software. Oh, wait a minute. If there is no way to store to the keys. Yeah.
If you need help, please hang up and dial the operator. If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again.
Yeah, so you can only store to these buttons. I guess what I need to do is, because my consistent entries are for if it has 10, but this has 16. So what it can actually do is I can store my normal speed dials on here and then change up my other stuff, or I need to drop my having them consistent because, I mean, I knew from doing that it would have to be different depending on how many speed dials it has. I just didn't expect that I'd ever get a phone with this many. We'd have to use some Goo Gone to get this price tag off. The speakerphone's surprisingly good, even though it's line powered. The switch is working. Let's ring this up. It has the same ringtone as that phone, the 230. You may have noticed that there is one less ringer on this line. That is because I have an exciting new phone coming tomorrow. I'm not going to reveal what it is. So I took the VTech out, so that new phone's going to go in its place when it comes. You can definitely tell this is from the 90s office era because it has a teal speakerphone button, which is unusual. Usually the speakerphone buttons are orange. But again, this era was not VTech made phones. This would have been from the Lucent era still. We also have redial and pause as separate buttons. That's unusual. Usually they're the same button. And then mute is on or off, not one you hold. So now let's record a message from this to see how good the pickup is on this line-powered speakerphone.
This goose is on the phone.
Please leave your message after the tone. When done, hang up or press the pound key.
This is a test message on the AT&T 821 corded desk phone with speakerphone. This is my first working desk speakerphone corded phone. And now this is on the corded receiver. I'm not sure what the clicking is. I should see if it's on these other phones on the line. Now, of course, this does not have voicemail, and you can't press these to turn it on. And actually, this is just a coincidence because this is, again, not VTech made. This is not new enough to be a VTech made phone. It's like the VTech hotel phones where they don't have one touch either on most of them. Some models do. Okay, let's see. Oh wait, this one's not plugged in. To check, okay, let's use this phone here. No, we're not hearing it on that one, so I don't know what the deal is. Let's check this B&O phone. Oh, that went to my call parking thing. Okay, so it is, unfortunately, this phone, but it is in working order. It's not like it's broken, but then again, this is an old phone. I found it at a thrift store in Vallejo. My first successful thrift store phone find since I got the KXTV 2224 in late 2012, believe it or not. Yep, so this is in fact a speed dial. It has kind of a weird placement for it, but obviously they had to put the program button somewhere, and this was from the era where it was very common for corded phones to have a spot to write your phone number. So this is a pretty good hotel phone, putting aside the fact that it's not very modern looking. You can write your room number here, and then obviously, it's not a good idea to have a program button. Again, hotel phones conceal it under the faceplate. And of course, there's no place for a faceplate. But I guess you could, depending on how much information you want, you could use the space up here and I guess put a label on it. Because I mean, I've stayed at several hotels now where they use regular corded phones as a hotel phone. On the side, we have switches for the ringer volume, and the receiver volume, and the speaker volume. And the tone pulse switch is on the bottom, just like on the 706. What's strange is that this has the labels for both this, which is a one-liner, and for a two-line version of this phone, or a two-line model that uses the same bottom shell. However, the weird thing is that the jack, the hole where the jack is cut into the same plastic piece as these tactile labels for the line for L1/2, L1R, and L2. So that could only mean one thing. for the two-liners, they literally would have to cut out where the second jack is going to go. But if they're already doing that, I don't know why they didn't just make two separate bottom shells. Because as far as I can tell, there is no separation right here. I have no idea why there's no separation, but they provision it for two different shells when obviously they have to cut in to make a second jack. That's pretty strange. Now let's listen to that message.
It's the test message on
Pretty
the
good pickup,
AT&T
actually.
821 corded desk phone of speakerphone. This is my first working desk speakerphone corded phone. And now this is on the corded receiver. I'm not sure what the clicking is. I should see if it's on these other phones on the line.
Press 3 for advanced.
So that is pretty good pickup. Then again, hotel phones usually have good speakerphone pickup. It also depends on what line you use. So, like, if used on a phone line simulator, I guess it might not be very good. Because in YouTuber Jordan Yu's phone videos, he uses a Ring It simulator. And his experience with line-powered speakerphones has been pretty poor. But this VoIP ATA, it works perfect with that. Say what you will about analog being better than VoIP, but you really can't tell, at least I can't tell. If anything, ULAW is designed to sound like a copper line, and that's what this is using, and we can confirm that by dialing star to get to the ATA's IVR menu, and then 07 to check the vocoder. Speakerphone's not... And then hang up, which is weird.
Preferred vocoder. PCM new.
PCMU means ULAW, so this is using ULAW, and I have a feature code that lets me hear my codec being used, like I showed in my how this works, how I built this to be a testing setup video, or I can just do star codec. Flash works.
The audio codec being used on this call is
ULAW.
The stuttering at the end of the recording is a function of Apple's voice memos app, which is how I've recorded all the custom messages that go onto my system. When I record a custom message and upload it into my system, it goes under a custom subfolder in the language code subfolder. So in my case, I'm using American English. So that folder structure within /var/lib/*/sounds, which is the sounds folder, is going to be en/custom for all of my custom files. Speaking of which, I also introduced a settings IVR, which changes many of the underlying settings that feature codes and the UI can change. These are stored in what's called the Asterisk database, which is an SQL database which stores various different settings, and even the last incoming call to this extension. So if I call it now, and then bypass the ATA codes by dialing *82, *69.
Information about your last call. Telephone number 2023. To call this number, press 1.
Using this database, I've built a feature code that lets me clear it. And if you're familiar with other providers, that is of course going to be *89. Apparently you have to wait before you can dial.
Information about your last call has been cleared.
Just like the Telematrix 3300 I showed at the Western Velosa Napa, is the speakerphone does not stay off. Maybe it would have if I increased my loop current disconnect. Oh, this is also still not hotel-like because there is no visual ringer. But I do have a corded phone that has a visual ringer, and I mean my cordless phones do too. Now let's play the test message on the system.
This is a testing message. A quick brown fox. So of a lazy dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check with Tyler's phone testing code line is powered by free PBX.
Yeah, so this phone is working pretty well. Not all phones donated to thrift stores are bad. People upgrade their phones, obviously, or might just ditch their line. Or maybe someone knows that a phone collector wants to collect them without paying too much money. I don't know. More likely they just were done with this phone. The lights are red, just like on the 706. But this being the 800 series, I'd imagine this was meant to be higher end. And I mean, definitely feels higher end. And this works better, too. Let's actually see now if this receiver will fit the 706. It's not really safe to plug it in because some plastic is broken off so it exposes the speaker. But other than that, it would work if this receiver fits on it. And it does fit. I can plug other receivers into it and they'll work, but they won't necessarily fit. This is my first will to actually fit because it has the rounded square, the squircle, if you will, earpiece and microphone. The holes are different. They're more curved. They're curved on this while they're not on the 706. But that's not the part that matters. And I'm just noticing there's some wear here. Obviously this was used. This is several decades old. Now let's take a look at that new settings menu I built.
To turn follow me on or off, press 1. To turn call waiting on or off, press 2. To turn do not disturb on or off, press 3. To customize call forwarding settings, press 4. To turn missed call alert on or off, press 5. To turn intercom on or off, press 6. To clear information about the last incoming call, press 7. To cancel all wake-up calls, press 8.
Your wake-up call has been canceled.
To turn follow me on or off, press 1.
Call waiting is currently on.
To turn it on, press 1. To turn it off, press 0. To return to the previous menu, press star.
Now let's check that call forwarding menu I just did.
For unconditional call forwarding, press 1. For busy call forwarding, press 2. For no answer call forwarding, press 3. To set your call forward ring time, press 4. To turn off all call forwarding, press 0. To return to the previous menu, press star.
Call forward on busy is currently off.
To turn it on, press 1. To turn it off, press 0. To return to the previous menu, press star.
Please enter a new extension. Call forward on busy is set to 2, 0.
Now you're going to hear that the options are different when you go back into it.
Call forward on busy is currently 2, 0, 2, 5.
To change the destination number, press 1. To turn this call forwarding option off, press 0.
Call forward on busy.
But now we want to look at the ring timer setting which I just implemented.
For unconditional call forward ring timer
is currently
the default call forwarding ring time setting. To forward calls after a specific number of seconds, press 1. To always forward calls, press 2. To use the default call forwarding setting, press 0. Turn the call forward ring timer
is set to
the default call forwarding ring time setting. For call forward ring timer
is set to
always forward. For please enter the desired number of seconds between 1 and 120. Then press pound.
So if I enter 121...
that option is invalid. Please try again.
Call forward ring timer.
Then it takes me back
Please
to
enter
the
the
main
desired
setting.
number of seconds between call forward ring timer
is set to 1 second.
For unconditional call forward,
As
Call
inconsistent,
forward
Allison did not
unconditional
redo that.
is currently off.
to turn off. Call forward ring timer.
Is currently 1 second.
To forward
Oh, I have to
after
change
a
that
specific
too.
number of seconds, press
It's like
1.
that GE phone that says
To
one
always
messages.
forward calls, please enter the desired number of seconds between 1. Call forward ring timer.
Is set to 100 seconds.
So now, if I call a call forward turned on,
Call forward unconditional.
I should still hear my extension ring because it won't forward for 100 seconds. Nope. I'm not sure why that's not actually doing anything. Oh, is that unconditional? That's strange. I guess I don't really know how that works, but I do know the setting is saving.
Call forward.
There's nothing much else to this because this is a pretty basic phone. Oh, let's see how pausing works. Oh, let's see if I can actually store my pretend wireless landline registration cockpit related entry into this. So, program.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again.
Okay, so it actually does work on this one. Okay, 3690, and then I have space for 6 more entries. So that might actually be what I'll do.